All right, welcome back to the podcast, the best podcast in the world.
Yeah,
And today we got
it's
some.
like all right.
We're like, we're
Like,
like,
a solid 3 out of 10.
we're like root beer. I feel like we're like the root beer of like the podcast. You know, like nobody really like you can't really hate on us, but you know if it's there, you drink it. You know what I mean? We're like root beer. All right. So we got some haters, and I mean true haters that you like. You think you're a hater, but there's people that ascend
Like-
beyond a hater.
Like I would say I'm a hater, but after I saw this, I'm like the nicest guy on the planet.
Yeah, this guy is this is amazing. So the account is banned now, but there was an account called Val Community like Hate or Bad or something like that. I forgot the username of it, but the username came out with a list of every person in the Valorant community, and
they hate
not
him.
only that, they hate him so much they tagged them and then explain why they hate them. So like he's a real hater. Like it's almost respectful how much of a hater he is, in a way. But he goes down a list. I think the number I last saw was 50. He like named 50
there
creators.
And he kept adding to it too.
Yeah, the last one I saw was 50, and our very own Frosto and Chloe got into it. So they got into the list. They made the list of being the most hated.
I wish the account wasn't like banned, so we could like look at what he said. But I'm very happy that it seems like no one really on Twitter took it seriously. No one got like butthurt. Like it's just this random guy who started a new account to be a dick. So
Yeah, and I'm
happy
kinda
that
curious
Everyone was like, the people who didn't make the list were like, "Fuck! Why didn't I make the list?"
Bro, I'm so angry. I didn't make the list, dude. I was so angry too. I was like, bro, fuck it. I'm gonna get back to the Val community just so I can make the hate list again.
We should
This is
make
motivation.
our own hate list.
Bro, I'm down. I saw like a few other lists. Bro, honestly, yeah, but because like it's like you have a name to a face. So you know who we are, and we'll put a hate list on it too. I'm down.
We should make a Valorant love list.
Ooh, like why we
people
love
that
them.
we think are fucking awesome in the community.
You know what? After this, I'll type one up and we'll see how it goes. Okay? We'll type
Do
one
it
up
on
and
the
we'll see.
Corecast account.
Bet. So we'll do that. But it's like more interesting because this person is clearly within the Valorant community. I mean, I don't know if he's just some viewer or like nobody really big that did this.
Yeah.
But you know what would be funny? If it was like an actual like decently sized creator that made this and he secretly hates everyone he collabs with.
It's like fucking like a VCT Pro or something.
Oh
Just
my God. He just absolutely hates him. He's like, fuck the Valorant
Or
community.
it's
I'm
like
gonna make it.
it's like Shazam or something. I could see Shazam being a big hater.
I can see that. Because you know what's so funny? Because what if it's like someone you like least expect too? It's like imagine like jokingly with like, yo, it's actually Chloe. She actually made a list and she hates everybody and she made a
Put
list.
herself on it to not look
Suspicious, right? Oh my God, I wish I took a screenshot of it so we could like analyze it and see like how deep, because like some of them like he went really hard and really deep in, but the others was like, oh, he's stupid and gets no bitches, and I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna hate on somebody, at least like go a little deeper. You go all the way in or like not at all.
He
You
really
can't
did
half-ass
not
hate.
like GC people either.
Yeah.
Like,
He was a
pretty much
big
anyone
hater.
who was related to GC. Like this was the main thing in Close, but it wasn't even just hers. He was like, "You need to shut up about GC. No one cares." And I'm like, I think a lot of people care. It's just you don't, and you suck.
It really is like that because he was going so hard on them, and then I saw someone was like, I think it was Isaac, L2 Isaac. One of his was, oh, he gets no bitches and he only complains about the game, and I'm like,
Isn't
man.
that like 80% of the Valorant community?
yeah, like you
Like,
got to
you
be a little bit
include-
more specific. Yeah, same here. I would agree. Sure.
I don't play Valorant anymore, so even though I don't have any bitches, I'm not roped in with the other people, you know?
But it's like it's so funny because he was inconsistent. I was like, I respect the hate, but it was all like everyone was like making it like a badge of honor. It's like, yes, I made the list. Let's go. I'm doing something right.
I saw Core Zach was disappointed in his he was
Yeah.
not on the list.
Yeah. So at least we got two creators in it. are the weird, because I remember last year, last year was more serious. Like people, not last year, it was earlier this year actually. Like a few months ago, I think 4 or 5 months ago. I remember because for some reason, the entire Valorant community held like a Twitter space, and everyone was joining in the call. And it's like, who is this guy? And I'm like, there's no way we're taking this guy seriously right now. And like, it was so funny because the guy, like, as the space was going, people were also like, he was also tweeting like, yeah, I'll come out and I'll join the Twitter space. And then he made a Twitter space, but no one joined it. So then he ended it. And then he was like, oh shit, I don't got any emotion, so I'm just gonna leave. So that account got banned or just suspended or whatever. But this account also, and I'm like, now it's gonna be like every few months. It's like a check. It's like a checklist. Like, all right, who's doing good and who's doing not.
But what's the current state of the like tier 2 Valorant content creator community?
Exactly.
That's the analysis.
And now exactly, if you make the list, you're doing something right. But now, speaking of not doing something right, Ubisoft. So Ubisoft is getting sued, and it's the most interesting way possible. So if you guys don't know the 2014 game, I believe, it's called The Crew, where it's basically a racing game where you can actually like drive it's like a really good game because you can drive all across America, right? It's a pretty good game. I've seen like gameplay of it.
And you can drive
it's a racing
across
game.
America.
Yeah.
But is it a good racing game? Maybe.
That's up for discussion. Let us know if you've played it in the description. But the thing is about the game, right, is that they stopped services. I think it was earlier this year. I believe it was earlier this year or this year.
Online services.
Sometime. Online services, yes. So they stopped online services like, hey, the game is over. Because, the game is almost like 10 years old now.
It is.
So they're like, hey, we're done. If
it's 2014, yeah it's 10
years. Yeah, it's 10 years old. So they're like, hey, we're stopping services. So that's not the issue, right? The issue is they decided to remove it from your library. So imagine you bought the game, you owned it, and you're like, hey, man, I missed The Crew. Let me go play it. You can't play it anymore.
Yep.
So they actually removed it, and they said, oh, it's because you don't own the game, even though you paid for the game.
Even though you probably paid full price back in the day for it.
So they are being sued by two guys that bought it in 2018 and 2020. So they bought it a few years later. So they probably bought it cheaper, but now they can't play it, and they're being sued. It's like, hey, what do you mean I can't play it? I bought the game. And Ubisoft is saying like, oh no, because you don't own the game. We own the game, and we get to remove it whenever we want.
Like, it's one thing if you remove it from the store. Like, that's fine. That happens, like, especially in the racing game scene. Like, the older Forza games are no longer on the stores because either things like copyrights for the cars are gone, or the music, the soundtracks are a big thing, and you have a limited license for that. So it makes sense to take them off the store, but the whole point is so that you're not still profiting off like the other people's work that you paid the copyright for and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But this, it's like they already made the money off of it. Like, so what? Did you pay the full price to rent the game until they decided, you know what, people shouldn't play this game anymore? Like, it's
exactly.
I haven't played it in a long time, so I don't remember, but I don't remember it being a live service game. Like, I feel like you could definitely play like an offline single player. And if that's the case, then like
every racing game has that. Every racing game at least has somewhat single player game. So, or like if you just want to drive around, straight up, like if you just want to drive around and enjoy the game too, you can just do that. Because it was an open world too. So you could like drive across America.
It was like an open world with like a story mode and stuff.
Exactly. So people just wanted to play that, but now it's like, what do you mean you could just remove it from the library? Like, you're not profiting off of it.
Like, I would love to see like the EULA, like the end user license agreement, to see like if there's some fine print in there that says that, because I don't know. I feel like I haven't really heard of this happening before. Like, it's one thing if it's like an online game, like let's say hypothetically like Valorant, like.
Or Concord. Concord was our old, but then the thing is with them is they gave the refund to the people who bought it. They refunded them the money and was like, hey, we're done with services, but we'll refund you the money. So, okay, it's like, all right, our game sucked, but at least we're going to refund you the money, and we're going to remove it permanently.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. But Ubisoft is not refunding the money. They just removed it without telling you.
That's like, Even Silent Hill PT, remember that? That was 2015, I think. The playable teaser for the Silent Hill game that got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't delete it from your PlayStation at the time, you could still, like, if you hypothetically have a PlayStation today that still has it, you could still play it. Like, I mean, that was free, so I guess maybe it's different, but they didn't go into your library and remove shit from there that you already got. Like, I don't know. Ubisoft, no wonder fucking Tencent wants to buy them, because they fucking suck.
Exactly.
What's the last like good Ubisoft game? And don't say like Rainbow Six, because that game's 10 years old. Like, what's the last good like new Ubisoft game?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins got good reviews, I would say, maybe.
When did this let me see.
I believe that's the last time they got like a good review game that I could remember. If I believe so, that's...
Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out in 2018. So
then Origins was after that?
I think Origins was the game before that.
Okay, so that's the last time I heard...
So,
yeah, that's the last time I heard about Ubisoft making a good game, if I'm being honest. So it's... But
the fuck
yeah,
are we doing?
but now my thing, right? It's like, if you look at Steam, I know Steam made it like a notice thing, right? Because they came out with an update saying when you buy a game, you are not owning the game, you are owning the license of it. That means you can like play the license to play the game. You don't own the game. So they came out with like a thing, so it shows it. Because I mean, it's technically I understand, right? It's always been you never own the game. I understand that, right? It's the company that owns the game. But my thing is, like, you can't just go and remove it from people's libraries. That's my thing about the whole thing. It's like, I understand if you want to remove the game, it's like, hey, we're not selling this game anymore. It's over. It's our decision. We don't want to sell it on Steam, on Epic, on Ubisoft Connect. We want to sell it there. But that's one thing. But to remove it on someone's library is kind of another thing.
Yeah.
Because how are you going to remove it after I've made full purchase and you're not going to refund me? And
I don't get
now.
Go ahead.
No, so like my thing is like now if I buy every digital game, am I gonna have to worry about that just being removed without getting a refund?
Yeah, it's like, oh, company shelving game. Sorry.
Yeah, because it's digital. There's no more hardware games. We don't do hardware. We don't do CDs. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like even Nintendo starts to do more digital. They have
cartridges for the Switch.
They still got the cartridges, but people prefer digital. Like I'm the only I prefer the cartridges because I get it like in a sample and I like it because I have like a little to go thing that puts in it and that's
a little collection in your little go bag.
So like it's that, but my thing is that's also the thing, right? Is I understand that, but why? Now you're gonna get in trouble because this is gonna be like a trickle down like effect. It's not everyone's gonna look at each game they buy. Okay, might not because Ubisoft's a shitty company. I get that. That's fine. But then you go look at Steam and Epic are like, are they gonna follow suit? Are they gonna start doing that too? Because how much power do we really have to say like, hey, you can't really do that. You can't remove it. And I think that's just something that that we have to look back in and see like, okay, every game I buy could be removed from my library because I don't own the game.
Selling the licenses is scummy. That's all I'm gonna say. Selling the license to the game is scummy. Yeah,
I feel like it's always been known you don't own the game, but to sell the license of it and be like, oh, we could just remove it whenever we feel like it is kind of a shitty thing to do. So that's my thing about it.
Especially because most games, even if they are single player these days, are like live service games. Like, need to be connected to the internet to play. So like if they shut down servers for stuff like that, it's also like the same thing. Like, yeah. Which I think is another discussion. I know a lot of that is more for anti-piracy kind of things where you have to, and which is why it's live service, but still, I feel like piracy, at least in the US, isn't like as big a problem. Not saying that I'm like a fan of piracy, like.
Yeah, but with this kind of situation is if you're forcing the game, people are going to be more inclined to pirate. I feel like you selling the license to a game and you saying, "Oh, you don't own the game. We just selling you a license and we can remove from your library." Oh, okay. If that's the case, I'm just gonna go pirate the game, and so I can permanently have the game to myself. So that's also like my thing about this whole situation is like if you do that, you are going to promote piracy even more than it needs to be. And people, your sales are gonna go down. The game is gonna look bad. It's a lot of things.
Like, I don't think that they would do that like right away. It's not like let's say Rockstar with GTA 6. It's not like GTA 6 would come out and then they'd be like, you know what? This game isn't doing as well as we thought. Let's just wipe it and remove it. Like, that's not like how it would go. Like, this game is 10 years old. It's just like fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, why do you care? Why are you removing it from?
Yeah. Again, removing from the store is one thing. It's fine because, you know, it's like what Danny said, like licenses for music or collabs that you don't do anymore or the contract's over. You want to remove it so you don't profit from it. I get that. But to forcefully remove it from someone's library is very scummy and very shitty of you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And for a company that's already been having one of the worst years ever, in a gaming company ever, losing almost, I think it was 50% of their stock market has crashed of this year. It went down 50%. So, and your value from, I want to say before COVID, I think it was at 22 billion. But now I think it's down to like 3 billion. The last time I checked. So if your stock market and your value as a company has went down so much, and then you're on top of that doing this, you're looking bad. I don't know if it's a managerial thing, an owner thing, or it was a mistake, but it doesn't look good on you. And either you sell the company and go to a completely new direction because you guys are not getting any better.
Yeah.
And
if Tencent buys them, I think it'll just be good.
Yeah.
I'd be satisfied.
I think because, I mean, because Tencent is like the company that owns a little of everything. Like, they're a company that their whole purpose is owning a little of everything. If you guys don't know, they own, I believe, majority of Riot.
Yeah.
They own majority of Riot, so they own League and Valorant. And, I mean, you could shit on the games all you want about Riot and all that.
Terrible,
the game is still doing
games.
It's a terrible game, but it's still doing fantastic, and they're getting billions of dollars every year. It's a terrible game, but they're getting their money.
Terrible game. Who would play such a thing?
Who would play
Have you
those
seen
two
the types of
awful
people
games?
that play League of Legends?
Those creatures who play League and those edators who play fucking Valorant. Disgusting human beings. But again, yeah, I think it's time for like that company to go to a new direction. Either sell it to another company and see where it goes, and we'll see how that is. But that is all the news for this week. If you guys haven't noticed,
Wait. We have a Deadlock tournament that will be coming out, or that will be played tomorrow.
Oh my God, Danny, you are correct. We have a Deadlock tournament. It is our first of. Yeah, it's our first of many Deadlock tournaments. It's going to be a $250 prize pool, 16 teams. So if you haven't already joined, make sure to join before the teams are locked and you can't join anymore. So make sure to join that. And if come in support. So we're going to be hosting it all on Saturday. It's going to be a one-day event. So you don't have to worry about 2 days if you guys make it through. It's going to be 1 day.
He's casting it. And
I'm casting it.
Observing and casting.
I'm casting, observing, and gonna be live streaming it. So I'm doing all three. I'm doing everything that whole day. So I'm gonna be casting it and everything. If you guys want to make sure and want to attend or even watch, come and join. The ranks do not matter. If you guys are thinking about, I'm not skilled enough, you could just join. You know, it's still fun to join, even if you want to get a party of 6. If you want to get some practice in, just enjoy the game and have fun in the tournaments, I would just say still join. And of course, you know, this is going to be the one of many tournaments that we do. So I would definitely try to join us. And if you want to keep updated for what else we do, maybe in other games, definitely check out our Twitter and at Core Gaming. And if you want to check it out, we also have a Discord.
And
Corecast. Yep. Make sure to check all of that on the description below to watch us. And also, if you guys want to check out some merch, please go to coregaming.com/shop, QOR, Core Gaming, and check out some merch. Thank you guys for watching.
See you.
Bye-bye.